Hello and welcome. My name is Amir Borenstein and I run the info site noradforyou.com and the store site 4ehsbyehs.com. I have been in the field of exposure reduction, EMF, possible health effect awareness, and EHS awareness since 2006. Today we're going to talk about two recommended EMF meters for home use and personal use for people who are aware of the possible health effect and want to reduce exposure, or for people who are already EHS, electromagnetic hyper sensitive people, and they want to reduce exposure so they will feel better over time. So in the field today there are lots of EMF meter. Some are cheaper, some are more expensive, some are professional, some are half professional, and some are really cheap Chinese meter. And it's very hard to understand the differences between all the meters. Most people need very simple meters, but meters that are fast enough in order to pick up very short RF pulses. And this is the most important thing about EMF meter. They should be very fast. The sampling rate of the meter should be very high. It's nice to have that the meter will be also accurate and will work for a longer time, but if it can't pick up the pulse RF radiation from cell towers or cell phones or wireless internet routers or wireless TVs, then even though it's accurate, it will not help us. We need a meter to be able to pick up fast pulsing RF radiation sources, to allow us to find them, to locate them, to see when they are radiating, why they are radiating, to try to verify that after we did some exposure reduction measures, the radiation levels are now lower than before, and to allow us to find a good house with low EMF and stuff like that. So accuracy is not a big issue. The big issue is measurement speed or sampling rate. Okay, so we narrow it down to 2 meters. Let's talk about them. So the first meter is the Cornet ED88T+. I think this is the best value for money. Everyone who is aware of the possible health effect of RF and wants to reduce exposure should get, before protection, before anything else. This meter is a numeric meter. It has a numeric display, a very detailed numeric display with lots of info on it. It can measure RF, low frequency magnetic and low frequency electric field. It has a 9-volt battery on the back. You can use rechargeable batteries. And it has nice buttons on the front, a clear display, a turn off wheel switch over here, USB connection for PC, and there's a headphone jack if you want to listen to the audio feedback without other people hearing you. The display is very, very detailed. There's a backlight. It will shut off in a couple of seconds, and then you will be able to see. The display is very, very, very detailed. This is the RF level at my home office. It shows the peak level over the last half second based on 5,000 measurements, the max value since power up, the average value of the last 15 seconds, and here there's a histogram showing the graph of the radiation changing over the last 15 seconds as well. There's also a power LED bar here, and which marks the radiation levels in colors. So in the beginning you will be able to understand what's going on more easily. This is a wireless gate remote control, and I will use it to transmit something, and you can see the radiation being measured. Okay, let's try and get a higher level. So every time I push the button, we can see the levels. Okay. What makes this meter great, or the best value for money? Obviously, the cost. The cost is below $200. It can measure both RF and low frequency. And the thing that makes it the best meter, I think, on the market today for home use is the sampling rate, which is very high, in combination with the display that allows you to understand what actually is going on. Okay, so the second meter is this tiny little thing. This tiny little thing is the ENV RD10. I had the pleasure of writing most of the requirements for this meter, and also doing some of the QA for this meter. It is manufactured in Israel, and it can measure RF, radio frequency, low frequency electric, and low frequency magnetic. You have a button here, you can switch it, and you can have all three modes. The display is a power LED display. There's no numbers here, so people that are not very easy going with numbers will find this meter more easy to operate. There's also audio feedback. You can turn it off and on by this switch. And if you are like a super tech guy or girl, you can connect it to a PC using this USB cable and run a software on the PC that can record and monitor and see the radiation levels in numbers. This is also used to charge the internal battery. The battery can last for about 7 hours of continuous work when it's fully charged. And this meter is best used for this following situation. One, if you're an AHS person, you already got the cornet, and you need a meter to be inserted into your pocket, pants pocket and t-shirt pocket, for it to pick up radiation levels as you go along your daily routine. If it's on RF mode, every time a person with a smartphone will come close to you, and his phone will radiate, this meter will beep, so you will know to stay away. Also, in a case that you're entering a room with lots of RF, this meter will beep. Second option is that if you need it for training, if you want to train somebody, first the lights will make more sense than numbers, so it will be easier to operate and easier to understand than the cornet. The third option is for people who are not feeling comfortable with numbers, people that will see 5.000 and will mistakenly think this is 5,000. Okay, for people like that, this meter is the best option because it had no numbers. There's only LED light, power strip, and that's all. So there are better meters on the market. There are more expensive and better meters. For example, the Sound and Safe Pro 2, which cost around $400, or the AM10 from EMF Field, which cost about $400. Both of them are RF only. There's no low frequency measurement on those two meters. They are better than what we suggest, but those are all in one. They have both RF and low frequency, and we think they are more suitable for the home user and EHS people. Okay, so thank you for watching, and see you next time.